Hello, it's the preview. It's John Gibbons. I'm here with Kev Walsh, and where else but Taggy's bar, one of the best places to drink before the European night. I mean, to before most nights, to be honest.
Any night of the week, yeah, get yourselves down here. But now the European nights are absolutely belting, aren't they?
Yeah.
I was in here before the Atletico Madrid game, and it was rammed, but then Webster come on, and it was just like, it was like being at a concert, you know.
Yeah.
It was class. There must be loads of people who just come just for Webster and don't even bother going to match. And fair play to you, because it's definitely worth the visit.
Yeah, and it's a boss place to have a drink here. Taggy's a sound fella, but especially on a European night, and it feels like it sort of comes alive. But you know, I mean, Anfield won't necessarily be like that. You know, we can't really do that famous European night here because they're through. But I mean, first of all, they deserve a bit of credit for that. You know, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit after the last game, but I think it's worth repeating that this was the group of death. It was sort of a tough one, and they made light work of it. Not least Porto out there.
Yeah, definitely. But it's one of them games where you're like, what's really going to happen? But then it is a European night, and do you know what I mean? And it will still be full. So there will still be like an atmosphere and legs to it. So I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's one of them ones where you think, okay, you're not like totally overhyped, thinking, shit, what's going on? And we need to do this, we need that. You can also just sit back and enjoy, probably watch like the likes of Minamino or whatever, and hopefully see some players who you haven't seen a lot of, and maybe get a bit of confidence as well, because it'll be a good game, because Porto need the win. If Porto win and Atletico get beat, it puts them in a really, really strong position to finish the group. And I think they play each other last. Well, they must do, because we played
Yeah.
So it's got the makings of an interesting game. It might be more interesting for the neutral than it will be for the Liverpool fans, because we've done our job so far, haven't we? But the performances so far in Europe have been literally spot on. You can't fault them, can you? 4 wins from 4, isn't it? So, do you know what I mean? You can't ask for any more from the Reds. But I think I've seen a few people saying, we'll be playing the Caroline from the from the canteen and that, but I don't think that'll be the case. No. I think we all thought that last year when
the Michelin game, yeah.
And he plays, obviously, we remember that game because Jota got injured in it, but I think
Salah plays the full match in that as well.
It's a strong team. I think he plays someone in mid. He plays like Kane or one of them young kids in midfield, but that's the rest of it's quite strong, and I think it'll be probably similar to this time, because there's been a lot of talk about you get 100 grand for winning the League Cup, and 2.5 million quid for winning 1 Champions League game, and I don't think it's any sort of secret to say that Liverpool need the money, don't they?
Well, Klopp's come out and said it, more or less. He said that it's too valuable, and look, it's not his fault, is it? Do you know what I mean? That this is the sort of setup, but
we know whose fault it is, but we're not going to give it to him today. Don't worry, I'll be good, I promise.
no, it's fine, but you know, it's one for I mean, it's one for another day, very much. But you know, you mentioned there, you know, you'll be sort of a strong team, but in that Michelin one, you rotated a few, and there's an opportunity for a few in this one. You'd hope to sort of get, you know, a start, or maybe even a fair start. Someone like Tyler Morton, who I'm thinking of, who come off the bench, you know, he was absolutely buzzing. You know, I didn't know too much about him, like even in the summer, to be honest with you, but I think he's done very well whenever he's been called upon today. But I love how buzzing he obviously is just to play for Liverpool, and all his family doing the tweets after each game and stuff. It's been a nice little thing throughout the season, and he's got a really good chance of getting a first Champions League start this week.
I think he probably will, to be fair, because he plays in the Fabinho role, doesn't he? I think that's like where his speciality is going to lie. So if there's a player you want to really wrap in cotton wool for a game like this, it probably is Fabinho, isn't it? Because he's quite unique in our squad, so I would give him the break. And listen, whenever Tyler Morton's played, he hasn't looked out of place at all. That Norwich performance he put in was phenomenal, wasn't it? I think did he come off the bench in that game? Yeah. But he was fantastic.
He come on at half time, so he plays a full half.
Yeah, he plays the full half, but he was fantastic in the game, wasn't he? I think he done okay at Preston, where it was a bit more work. But I don't think anyone would be thinking, why have we started him? Because he's sort of, you can't say he's earned the right, I suppose he's only had 3 or 4 games, but he certainly earned...
It feels like he's leading towards it, doesn't it?
leading towards something like a Champions League night, and obviously, listen, it'd be nice to win the game for the money side of it and blah, 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 but if it doesn't go that way, it's not really the end of the world, and no one's going to be thinking so. So if you're Jurgen Klopp and you think Tyler Morton has got a bit of a future, it's a perfect game to throw him in, isn't it?
Another one you think will probably get a start is Minamino. He gets a really nice moment at the weekend. You can see how much his teammates were made up for him. So he's obviously a popular member of the squad, and after the game, you know, Jurgen talked him up, didn't he? Saying, no, he's an unbelievable player, he's in a really good moment, so there's an opportunity to start and hopefully get another one in front of the Kop.
Fingers crossed, because he was buzzing with his goal, wasn't he? Like, proper gave it to the Kop and all that, and I was made up to see, because he just comes across as the world's nicest fella, and there's definitely a player in there as well. We were talking on the post-match show the other day, he's one of them players who you really wanted to work out for, because A, he's a nice guy, but also because you can see there's definitely something in there which suits the Liverpool style of play. Now, I think it's quite common.
All right, the Reds, thanks very much for getting stuck into that little snippet there of Anfield Wrap content. If you want the rest of that show and much more besides, click the link below, subscribe to the Anfield Wrap Premium, and for that you will get reviews, previews, exclusive interviews, post-match content, the full it. Get involved, follow us, follow them from the heart of Liverpool. Up the Reds.